after we became friends, then we needled each other.
How?
By anything.
Nothing was sacred except your mother.
Yeah, your mom was out of bounds.
You
Mom
said
was out
something
of
about
bounds.
I don't care. You said something about Mom. The fight was on.
Moms are off limits, but ethnicity, race, were not off limits. That teasing, that humor, it was part of the game. It was part of what they did. And not only did it bring them closer to this day, the memories and laughing about it bring them even closer.
We were just out to dinner this week, and a friend of mine comes in town with his girlfriend, and she happens to teach diversity in
But you
California.
didn't know this.
Oh yeah, no, I knew.
Oh, did you?
Oh, no, I knew. And then there are 3 other guys that we've all grown up together, and so we get to talking, and we're telling her stories about what we've done and how we've grown up. She's wanting to know all about us, and when my friend Jesse, who's a Mexican, is sitting next to me, and when he's talking to somebody else, I turned over to her and I said, "Now, you realize he's Mexican." So I said, "Kind of watch him because he'll try to steal the silverware." Well, and then my other buddy over here, of course, we can see when her eyes get real big that now we've got her. So we start picking the scab off this wound.
So
We're all working together now because we've seen her eyes get big, and we're seeing her kind of licking her lips and doing. So we know we've offended her.
This routine has been done before.
Oh, yeah.
This was not virgin territory. This routine has been played out.
So then
before.
Bill starts talking about how, there's a new thing where they can tell when babies are born, and they can reach in and pull this gene out and keep them from being gay. So he says there'll be no gay babies and no black babies and no Irish babies. And she excuse me, I got to go to the bathroom.
Really?
And she gets up and goes to the bathroom and comes back. And of course, none of us say anything, but we're all thinking, this is going just the way
As soon as she
we want.
leaves, you guys lose it?
No, we don't say anything. I mean, we've done this spiel so many times. We're just eating. She comes back, and we're all finished with dinner, and I've ordered some extra ribs and stuff to take home to my wife. Well, they bring this sack to me, and when I've got the sack, my Mexican buddy Jesse now is messing around with me, and he's putting silverware in my sack. And she kind of looks over, and I turn over to her, and I go, "See, he just can't help himself. He's Mexican."
Now, you guys, we live in an era now. You do that, and you're going to be on front page news and going to do that. Why is that? Why is that okay? Why do you think that's important?
That's
I know
sad.
why.
That's sad.
That is sad.
It
Why?
It's sad. But well, you know what? We grew
Because
up in
we don't
an
mean
era-
anything
we don't mean
by it.
anything by it. I mean, and for some, and is it wrong? I guess it depends on what era you were raised in. At times, it's just what it was. To try and explain to somebody that wasn't in our group of guys, it was accepted. And I've never taken anything that Mark said to me in teasing, or vice versa, or any of the other guys. And if you got to a point, it was kind of a fail-safe word, a fail-safe word. But if you got to a point, you'd say, "Don't push me. The mother statement's going to come out." And you knew then they were pushed too far in a corner, and you were hitting a nerve.
I used to tell him when he had nailed me, embarrassed me, had me cornered like an animal, I'd go, "I know something about your mother.
And it would stop.
And you don't want me to play this card." Now, I had nothing.
He had nothing.
But he didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he'd play the same card on me, and I wasn't going to call his bluff because maybe he knew something about my sweet, blessed mother.
But you guys, so there wasn't a thing when you were growing up. There's a thing now with bullying right now. With bullying, everybody's bullying each other, and there wasn't. You guys,
No,
I
it
never
was just-
saw
I
that.
never saw that.
Well,
Never
first
saw
of
it.
all,
I mean,
I guess we grew up.
We call that teasing. You just.
Well, I grew up. The first toys I had were boxing gloves, so I could take care of myself, and I think Vinnie and all of us could. But we hated bullies. We wouldn't allow somebody to bully a kid.
Now, I'm just talking about the verbal insult. I mean, one guy, two guys bullying a little kid, it's one thing. But I mean, you guys there was not a big deal. You're just standing your ground verbally.
We bullied our friends, if you want to call it bullying.
Yeah.
We didn't do that to somebody we didn't know.
So you got to know the person.
You got it. That there's a license to do that, and that license is issued after you've shown I'm your friend. Through hell or high water, I'm with you.
So you guys know each other really well.
No,
You have
very
this
well.
really rich history, really rich history, and there's a luncheon
There's a luncheon. This guy that you know, that you've been through all this stuff with, you invite him for a luncheon with the Kansas City Chiefs. You want him to come enjoy for lunch.
Right.
But I'm going to let you take me here. There's just a critical thing you forgot to tell him where it was.
I call him. I have clear blue sky, and all I'm trying to do is be his friend, and I'm not thinking, right? And I'm just not looking at history. And I said, I've got tickets to the Chiefs kickoff luncheon. I knew he was a Chiefs fan. We'd been that way since we were kids. And I said, you want to go to luncheon with me? He said, sure. He said, I'd love to. I said, great. I said, why don't we just, he was out south, I was out north. I said, why don't we've got to meet down there anyway. He said, where is it? I said, it's the Hyatt. And he goes, he hadn't missed a beat. He goes, good. He goes, when we get there, he says, I can take you and show you the spot where I almost bled to death. And I'm dying.
And you didn't do this as a joke.
No, I did this.
A guy that you knew so well.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing. It was a Crown Center. Oh, it's Crown Center. It's at the Hyatt. I just didn't think about it because you've seen the attitude he has with it.
Yeah.
He doesn't dwell on it. His strength has gotten him to it. He doesn't dwell on it. And so he took it. He says, yeah, when we go there early, I'll show you where I almost died, where I bled on the carpet. Now they had to replace. And I'm going, Mark, don't do that. He goes, no. He goes, I really want to do that. I want to show you where I was bleeding.
So I get there early. I'm supposed to meet him there at like 11:30. I get there at like 11:20. And I'm waiting to see him come through the door. And I'm standing there looking at the floor like this.
Right where it happened.
Right where it happened.
Well, that stuff came down.
Right where I laid. And he comes in. He goes, what are you doing? I said, right there. I said, what do you mean right there? I said, that's where I laid for 10 hours. Damn near died right there. He goes, let's get out of here. I said, no, we're not getting out of here. No, I'm getting sick. Let's get here. I said, no, buddy. We're going to go eat lunch. And we went upstairs, and through every course they bring, he goes, I can't eat. I'm getting sick. We got to get out of here.
You're that upset?
Oh, he's that upset. I said, no problem. I'll eat your food. I'm eating his food and mine. And I made him sit there through the whole luncheon.
But what he won't tell you, or you can make him tell you now because we're in the situation, there was an exorcism that took place that day.
Exorcism? What's Vinnie talking about? An exorcism? You're going to find out in the next class what this exorcism he's talking about when Mark Williams went back to the Hyatt and what happened to him when he faced it again at the next class. See you there.